Okay, so we have this network switch from eBay. Had so much confidence in it, I had already put a label on it. But basically what happens here is we plug it in to a good hot outlet, and we plug it into our network switch, and we have nothing. Nada. And in fact, I have here, hang on. Okay, and so I have a female 2.5 by 5.5 that I will plug into the output of the network switch. Right? We'll get those guys plugged in together and give them a twist so we know we have some good electrical contact. Goes to the probes on my meter, and I am reading, what am I reading? 1 point. I mean, there's a sign of life, but that's pretty much 0 volts. 1/10 of a volt, well, it's 0. I mean, so all right. So I got some idea here. I'm fed up with this. I wrote to the seller, and he's not real convinced that I'm doing things correctly. He says this thing comes with an instruction manual. Well, I mean, you plug it in and you connect it, right? My TV is more complicated than this. I mean, all right, whatever. I got an idea. I decided to crack it open to find out the problem, because the seller doesn't seem to believe me when I tell him that this thing was dead in the water. Unfortunately, I broke the case, but that's the way these things are. They're not always designed to come apart. And so, as we take a look at this thing, the first thing I notice is that these are really bad solder joints. Wow. This is not good work. I mean, if you look at the way the wires are soldered on there, let me see if I can get a good focus on this so you can see this. I mean, that's horrid. Come on. Yeah, no wonder this thing doesn't work. Probably got the same thing here. I haven't even looked. I don't know. I'm gonna, yeah, look. I can see a solder joint right there. Right there. It doesn't look good. Not let alone the rest of the board. So I'm gonna resolder this thing. See what happens. Alright, so for example, here's one I just resoldered. That red one. See that red one there? Okay, I just did that. And look at theirs. This is their soldering. Believe that? Ay. Come on. And there it is, redone. See the difference? I mean, come on. Guys, I have a feeling that, I have a pretty good feeling about this. This is going to be successful. So, I mean, look at this. See those 3 in a row on the bottom there? Well, those 3 lands, and then that chip right next. I mean, look at that. Look at the way that these guys, look at that. Oh my God. And some of these, they just look like cold solder joints. It's really a sloppy, bad soldering, and the quality control is really bad. I'm going to do the whole board. So I was just looking at where there were like some wires or leads coming through that looked like they were cold solder joints. They weren't that good. For example, look at these right here. Here. I'll zoom in. Look at that. You can see that those are cold solder joints. Look at how the solder is balled up. You can see the solder is balled up on the end, right there, and right there. Those are not good solder joints. It's a really, look at that. Wow. I know my camera work is a little shaky, but look at the way those things are soldered in there. Oh my God, look at that component in the middle. And those balls of solder. Okay, let's look at those again now that I redid those solder joints, see? Now they have a nice smooth flow. Alright, so just a couple more I gotta hit here. You can see that anywhere there's leads coming through is questionable. I think I've soldered pretty much the real questionable ones. So we're going to turn this thing on here. I've got it plugged in. And we shall hook up our meter and see what we get. Ta-da! Look at that. Alright, let's plug this guy in and see how she works. Okay, so of course the first thing is plug it in. Of course the seller told me that this power supply comes with instructions, you know. There's an instruction manual. You have to plug the AC cord into the AC outlet, and then you have to plug the 2.5 by 5.5 millimeter plug into a 2.5 by 5.5 millimeter jack. You know what? My television's more complicated than this. Come on. Yay. Alright, so anyway, I got it plugged in. I'm going to hit the switch and turn it on, and let's see what happens. Ta-da-da-da. So you saw the lights blink, which is good, and there's our power light. That's what we didn't have before. It was dead. There we go. That ought to do it. So here it is. This is what the finished product looks like. I think the dealer, but it works. Now, I think the dealer could at least give me 50% of my money back. We'll see what he says.